Geoff, it's a big win, 2-1 win. Lots of things about today felt big. It's a big crowd, it's a big atmosphere, playing a big team. We've come away with 3 points.
Yeah, I think, obviously everyone looks at the table and obviously we have played sort of more games than the teams around us. But you sort of have these sort of games as a sort of signifier really to see, where you're at in terms of obviously form. I mean, they're a form side, so are we. So how are we going to measure up? I mean, the last game against Worm, I don't think we played our best, and obviously we were lucky to come away with a draw. So again, it was a big test for the players to sort of see where we're at in terms of stature. And I felt the game plan worked to a T. I mean, we knew they were going to play sort of 3 at the back. So, and we've sort of done a lot of work in pre-season against playing against different systems as well, and us being able to adapt. So when it comes to a game like this, it's not alien to the players in terms of what we want them to do. And with our front 3 and obviously with the players that we've got in the squad, I fancy them in any defence. If we can give them the ammunition, I feel they'll cause any defence problems. So we just had to try on the transition, try and keep the ball and then try and be effective in terms of getting our front 3 against theirs. And I felt that worked well, especially sort of second half. But it's a big win, and as I said, all these wins and these big games, just gives experience to the players and just sort of momentum and sort of confidence to understand that we're at step 6 and we deserve to be here.
Yeah, okay. The goal, when it came midway through the first half, might have been bad systems. You said put the front 3 up against anybody. It was a moment of individual kind of brilliance where no one knocked it round one side of the play, got on the end of it and buried it from 20 odd yards.
Yeah, I felt we were moving the ball well. I felt we could have sped it up a little bit because obviously when they're playing for wing backs, the outlets are the fullbacks. As most weeks, I mean, I've often said it before, not just because he's here, I feel we've got the best fullbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. So once we get them into a game, we've got a very good chance of sort of being stronger and sort of taking on the game. So I felt we could have switched it a little bit quicker to Bailey, who was in a lot of room, especially when they went down to 10 with the sin bin. But it came from a forward pass that we were trying to get into sort of our forward players, because it was tough. They played with 2 sort of holders, so it was tough to get our forward players into the game. But I thought once we get that ball in, you punch it, it's all about being brave. Noah's always going to have a chance. I mean, we swapped to Noah and Terry because that's when you've got a fluent front 3. We can, at any given moment, we can put Fred through the middle, Fred left, Noah right. Where we feel we can get some joy, that's the beauty of having a front 3 like that. And yeah, Noah buried it as we expect.
Okay. Junia, I mean, Geoff said about space down at full-back. I mean, you were kind of everywhere today. Impromptu dental advice also being handed out and all sorts of things going on. How did you feel that system was working?
Yeah, definitely. The gaffer sets us out to play every week and everyone knows their role, and Bailey and I, we know that we're the outlets. So when the team's playing 5 at the back, we know we can have a lot of the ball. So the emphasis is on us to then find the pockets, as Geoff said, get the ball into Noah's feet, Terry's feet. I feel like in the first half we could have done that a little bit better. I feel like it was, as Geoff said, moving around the back, but just not finding that killer pass. But I feel like we grew into the game. We started a little bit slow, they had a few chances, but yeah, definitely I think from the goal we just kicked on and then took it from there.
So second half we came back out, we'd obviously gone in 1-0 up. Felt again that we had the better chances, but also felt that we really needed a second goal to kind of try and make it safe, and that's the way it proved in the end. But was that the way you were thinking about it as well?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they look like a team that if you give them, present them some chances, they'll probably take them. And I think that's, if you look at sort of like the results, they're well in tune in terms of like being very resolute, solid, and relying on maybe a few chances and taking them. Got quite a lot of clean sheets if you look at their record. So I think once obviously we scored first, they had to change their sort of game plan. And for the first sort of 5-10 minutes, I think they were sort of like, they had the ascendancy. They were trying to sort of push on to us. But I think we knew that's what was going to be the case. So it was really riding that little bit of storm and then letting them sort of squeeze up, and then with the pace of obviously Noah, and then was able to bring on the experience of Sherwin, who comes and holds up the ball, and then we just use the outlets, try and sort of bury the game. So on the balance of it, I mean, we should have obviously finished the game earlier, and that's always going to be a critique of ours in terms of how ruthless we should be, but look, we can't complain. It's a 2-1 win.
I might complain. No, I had a couple of chances which were almost like the goal, which keeper made 2 decent saves actually, but that was clearly the outlet at that point, and it did eventually pay off with the second goal going in.
Yeah, I think it was coming as the second goal, and that's what we just got to obviously sharpen up on a little bit. Is that when you do get in those positions, and that's the difference between players who sort of play at this level one, players who can go on to even sort of league football. It's that last bit of decision making, and it's just deciding obviously what you want to do, and just forcing the defenders back. As Junia would tell you, the last thing you want is to be backpedaling into the box, because then it's a no-go area.
Yeah.
We just think that's what we're trying to encourage sort of our wingers to do, because then you'll be so much more better, and your output will be much better as well. But saying, as I said, Noah, Fred, Terry, outstanding, and obviously the stuff that come and always make a difference as usual.
Junia, the back four will be absolutely immense, I think, today. Noah will probably walk away with the players' vote, the vote on the players, but I mean, it's special overall, the back four. I thought Adam in particular was just a different class. It looked like we were going to get a clean sheet. It's like, I know Jack Francis probably in there kicking walls and worrying about his stats, but that's how it kind of felt, and then we set up a nervy kind of finish.
Yeah, and it's the clean sheet's just not a responsibility on the back four, it's the whole team, so everyone's devastated when we're not keeping clean sheets. Of course, Jack is going to be probably the most annoying.
Defenders Union there.
Yeah, of course, but yeah, I think today it was superb. I think a special mention to Adam and Charlie. Charlie last week getting 2 goals, Adam this week just Rolls Royce of a performance. We feel settled, and I think that's what you need with the back four, is consistency, getting everyone to know each other, know how each other play, and I think we've got a settled back four at the moment. But yeah, I think it's frustrating not to keep the clean sheet, but hopefully next week we can get a clean sheet.
Okay, last question, then we'll look away to Harlow next Saturday. But you mentioned in the programme notes about how the video had helped you training. I just wondered if you could expand on that a bit. I mean, how are the team using it?
Again, it clarifies the assists as well. Because there's a big competition with the assists. So, a lot of people claiming their stats. So video evidence, you can't argue with it. But it's just good to obviously reflect. And as a player, it's good to sort of like watch the game and see what you're doing on and off the ball. And also for us in terms of team shape and stuff, and see where we can improve. Because whatever improving, we're new to step 6, so we're not going to be know-it-alls. We're always sort of improving and trying to sort of engage and sort of learning as we go along. So it's good to have that, as I said, to sort of like recover and obviously educate yourself in terms of what to do. And also it's easier to explain to players, where you should be, because if it's off memory, there's not really to explain. And a lot of the players, they're visual learners and stuff, so it's very important that we can obviously show them sort of little clips, and especially stuff like set pieces as well, where we're going wrong, where we can improve. And I feel from that aspect it's really good. And also, we discussed it before, we've got a worldwide brand, fans worldwide, and it's good for them as well to some see the highlights, also know the players, and and that from that aspect as well, I feel it's sort of well overdue. So yeah, we're going to keep using it, and obviously the women's team use it, the development team has access to it as well. So overall, it's such a sort of great contraption. I wish I'd invented it, to be fair.
You'd be very rich. Right, okay. So Harlow away next week, you don't have to talk much about it, but it's going to be, obviously it's quite a long way to go, and they're going to have a crowd, and it'll be the first time we played really against a crowd that's likely to outnumber the number that we take there.
But look, as I said, it's 4G, nice ground, we go there with confidence, as I said, we've played against the best teams in this league so far, and we've not been outdone by any of them. So there's no one really to fear in this league, and we've got the confidence there to go there. It's 4G, which again will suit us because we like to get the ball on the ground. And like I say, I think they'll be looking at us rather than obviously us looking at them.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so we go into next week, as I said, with a bit of confidence. We try and continue that unbeaten run. Chance to rotate a little bit as well. A few of the players are missing, but this is opportunity, and that's what we do. We try and give opportunity to the players, keep the shirt, I know if you play well, you'll be in next week, regardless who's available. And I think that motivates the players and keeps the squad together. That we're just consistent and we're sort of transparent with them at all.